Hi everyone, Monique here, Little Gems Jewelry Canada. Today we are going to be making a very basic strung bead necklace, and we're going to start that in just a moment. Hi everyone, Monique here, Little Gems Jewelry Canada. Today we are going to be making a very basic strung necklace. You're going to need a measuring tape to make sure you get it the length you want. This one we're making today, I'm making 14 inches. You're going to need some jump rings. I'm using 10-aught seed beads and 8-aught seed beads. You're going to need a clasp of some sort. And you're going to need your line. So the line you're going to use today, we're using the Tough line. It's a 10-pound weight, and it's kind of a green color. I don't know if you can see that very well on the camera. So that's what I'm using for line. And then you're going to need tools and scissors. Okay. You're also going to need a beading needle, which I didn't get out, so I'll be right back. Okay, so you're going to also need a beading needle. Now, what I'm going to start by doing is getting my line. Now, I don't measure it by inches or feet. I do it by arm pulls. So I hold it and I go up my arm, and I'm going to do that twice. So that's how I know how long to make it. Okay, so I go up my arm twice, and I have little arms, so if you do that, you'll have plenty. You might have too much. You'll have to figure it out for yourself. Okay, so that's how much string we're going to need, or thread, or line, or whatever you want to call it. Now I'm going to go to my jump rings. So I'm going to select 2 jump rings. You're going to need a total of 3, but we're going to start off with 2. And what we're going to do is we are going to make sure they are closed, okay? So you see here, that's not closed. So what we want to do is we want to open it and then bring it back together until it's closed. Now, do you see the difference? Okay, so that's nice and closed. Give it a pinch like this. Give it a pinch like that. And you're golden. Okay? See how nice and closed that is? Okay. Now do the same to your other jump ring. So again, my nails are in the way, but see how that's not closed? So I'm just gonna open it and then bring it back until it goes flush. Okay. There we go. And then you're just going to make sure you're going to give it a pinch this way. And you're going to give it a pinch. Sorry, I keep going out of focus. Give it a pinch this way and that way. Make sure it's good and closed. Do you see that? Ooh, it's not completely closed. See, good thing. There. Now that's completely closed. If you have concerns that your thread is going to come out of there, put a little dab of glue, let it dry, that kind of thing. And when I say glue, it can be school glue, it can be nail glue, anything you want. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm taking my line and I'm getting the 2 ends together, okay? Now I'm going to slip my fingers all the way to the other side until I have my loop. Grabbing one of those jump rings, I am going to feed the loop through the ring. Oh! I'm going to drop the ring. Don't do that. Okay, feed the loop through the ring, okay, so that the ring is on. Now you're going to take the loop, kind of bend it, and you want to take those strings and pull them through the loop. Okay, sorry, I'm working around a camera here. Makes it a little bit more of a challenge. Okay, so you're pulling those tails through the loop, and if you've done it right, holding your jump ring, you should get this. See what I've done there? Now you want to make sure our closing, where we made sure it was closed, is up at the top. Okay, and there we go. And that's what we're starting off with. Okay, now going back to the other end, we're going to grab our beading needle now. Oh, Cassie, no thank you. My cat was getting into things. I probably shouldn't let her in the craft room. Okay, so this line that I'm using is a braided line, okay? So you kind of have to squash it. Let me just make sure that they're same length. And you kind of got to rub them through your nails to get them flat. Okay, then we're going to find the eye of that itty bitty pin. And we're going to get our threads through there. Not even one. Keep trying, don't give up. You want both of them through there. Okay, so let's try that again. I'm going to spend 5 minutes of the video threading a needle. Oh, they're not the same length. Sorry, my cats are doing things. Okay, so you see my needle? I got one. Okay, so here's what I'm going to show you to do if you get one but not the other. So I'm going to pull it through so it's nice and established. And then, oh, of course I dropped the other one. Okay, so now I'm going to, ouch, shimmy that down and see how I'm kind of pinching it down. I'm going to go back to the one. I'm going to try and get it. In the top there. Oh, no. Oh, come on. Doesn't help I'm working around a camera. There we go. See it? Okay. So now, sorry guys. So now I'm just gonna make sure, okay, I have to go deal with my cats. They're getting into my stuff. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, guys. My cats were getting into all kinds of things. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that needle's on there really good. But we're going to go back to our loop. And from our loop, we're just going to go down until we reach the needle. And we want to make sure there's no bumps. So you see here, I've got that little bump. I just want to make that go away by pulling my threads. Then we're going to make sure our threads are the same length, and they're pretty darn close. So we're going to leave that. Okay, now to the fun stuff. We get to decide what our pattern is going to be. So, by the way, we are doing dark beads. It's just I drop my bead box a lot, and so my beads get mixed up. So let's do, let's do How about we do 10 beads? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, that was a good pick. So we'll do 10 beads. We'll do one of our 8/0, and we'll bring those down. And then I'm thinking we should do 2. 1, 2, and then another 8/0. Oops, that's not. Okay, like that. So that's going to be our pattern, okay, guys? Let's do 10, a bigger bead, 2, a bigger bead, and then we'll repeat until it measures 14 inches, or you make it whatever length you want. So you do that, meet me back. Okay, so I've done my 14 inches. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take that other jump ring that we closed and putting it on my thread. I'm taking it all the way down to my beads. Okay, and now I'm going to go through those 3 beads. Now I only did 3 beads at the end because that brought me to 14 inches. So just keep in mind you can do that. Okay, so see, I've got my loop, my jump ring there, and all I'm going to do is give this a tug until it goes tight. See that? Okay, now we're going to start our knots. So I'm going to go behind my work. I'm not going through any beads. I'm just going behind my work. I'm going to pull that, and I'm holding my fingers like this so I kind of guide my thread. Now I've got a loop. I'm going to go through the loop once, and I'm going to go through the loop twice. Now I'm going to guide this knot so it goes before the big bead, okay? So see what I'm doing? I'm just going to pull it and make sure it's going before the big bead. And then I'm going to pull tight. Okay? Now, see where my bead is? Or my knot is, sorry? Right there. Now I'm going to go through the big bead. I'm going to go through the big bead. And those 2 little ones, sorry, come out there. Okay, see where my needle's coming out? Okay, I'm going to pull that, and I want you to watch that knot. I'm going to give it a tug, and then I'm going to feel a little pop. And you see what happened? I don't know if you can see what happened, but my knot went into that bead. You can't even see it. So now we're going to do another knot. I always try and do 2 or 3 knots because I have a fear of my stuff coming apart. I go behind my work until I get my loop. Okay, once I get my loop, I go through it once, I go through it twice. Oh, come on. Okay, and now I'm going to guide that knot. See how my string moved? So I have to put it back where I want it. And then I'm going to guide the knot, pull tight. See how I've got that little extra there? Because one of my threads didn't pull tight. So I'm just gonna take each one individually, give it a tug. See, then that little loop went away. I hope you saw the loop I was talking about. Okay, and now we're gonna go through that big bead, and we're gonna go through all these little beads until we are down to the next big bead, just before it. There we go. Okay, and we're going to pull this, And we're going to pull tight until, sorry, drop my stuff, until we feel that pop and it goes into the bead. Now, I've got my 2 knots, so I'm going to cut my thread. Okay, and because we did it by a big bead, you just give a little tug and those ends disappear. And there you go, guys. You have, okay, let me just secure my needle. I have pets, so I got to be very careful. I don't want anyone swallowing a needle. So I'll get rid of the thread, secure it in my pad. There we go. There you go, guys. There is your beautiful necklace. Now, these are great to layer. Oh, hold on. We haven't put on our finishing, our clasp. Okay. So, to put on your clasp, you take a 3rd jump ring. I'm using a different size. You do not have to use a different size. I'm using this size because it's super small and I don't use it for anything else. So you open your jump ring. Always open them sideways. Put on your clasp. Put on the end of your necklace. And then we are just going to close that up. See? Just like that. Give it a pinch. Make sure it's nice and closed. Again, if you have any fears, just a dab of glue on the split will work perfectly. Now we're done our necklace with a clasp. So these are really good to layer. Like I was saying, you can make like a 14-inch, a 15-inch, 16-inch, and then you have them nicely cascading. Or you can just wear a whole bunch of them. You can give them as gifts. You can sell them at craft sales. They're pretty quick to make and they don't use a lot of supplies, so your pricing can be, you know, very reasonable. And you can use different beads, different color beads. I mean, you know, be inspired. Do whatever you want. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to check the description for other necklace tutorials as well as, you know, earrings, bracelets, that kind of thing. I will also put a link to my Facebook crafting group in the description, so check it out. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Bye now.